Hi, Andrew Halliday here. I help people with anxiety dissolve the issues relating to it so they just go on to live a normal and happy life the way they always imagine it should be. If you know anybody who's currently suffering, or if you're suffering yourself from anxiety, certainly have the most amount of compassion for you or your friends or family members. Please stay on towards the end. I'll show you how you can get on a free 15-minute discovery call with me to work out how you can once and for all deal with and overcome your anxiety. Okay, so one of the things that I find with most people who are dealing with anxiety have a big challenge with, and that is fear. Not knowing of what's going to happen, not knowing how to deal with the anxiety, not knowing what is going through their head and how it's going to affect them, makes them very under-resourced and very panicked. So it's important to know how to deal with the fear that you're imagining. In this presentation, I'll just walk you through what fear is and what you can possibly do about it. And this may give you some relief from the fear that you're experiencing. It's important to understand, to start with, what fear is. Fear is an emotion that relates to the threat of harm, danger, or pain. Fear is essential for survival. It's helped humans survive all this time. And if you weren't to have this emotion relating to fear, then you may actually find yourself in pain, in harm, or in actual real danger. So it's an extremely important emotion. Fear, however, can be imagined or real. You may be actually in threat at this point in time of some type of harm, danger, or pain. Or alternately, you could be imagining it's going to happen and therefore experience the emotion of fear. No matter whether you are actually in real danger and therefore feeling the emotion of fear, or if it's imagined and you're feeling the emotion of fear. Either way, imagined or real, it will feel like real fear. We're actually only born with two types of fear inbuilt. One, that of falling. So if a baby feels like it's falling, it'll put its arms out to stabilize itself. And the other type of fear is the fear of loud noises. Once again, babies, when there's a loud noise, they'll get startled and cry. All the other feelings of fear, the emotion of fear that relate to a threat, are learned. We learn them through a direct experience. So if something happens to us, we put our hand on a stove is a great example, then we will remove our hand because we feel that pain. Then we fear a hot stove. The other way is we learn by observing others, their response to a potential threat. We can see, hear, and feel, and therefore socially we learn that there's a threat, and then we learn to fear certain things. No matter whether you learn to fear something directly or via observing, provided you have enough of a conditioned response to it, in other words, the fear feels real and the emotion feels big enough, you will start to feel that fear or that emotion related to whatever the threat is, whether it's real or perceived or imagined. So what is actually your anxiety doing for you if you're actually fearing something? Well, the advantage of having anxiety is, or being anxious about the potential threat and experience that emotion of fear, is to prepare you for whatever the threat is. So it's giving you potential solutions to overcome the issue associated with what you're fearing. So each time you feel anxious and have that panic or the nervousness or that uncomfortable feeling, the tightness, you're getting ready to either produce a solution, in which case you can fight the issue, or you're getting ready to run. And that's what you're actually doing, and that's the advantage of that anxious feeling. to find a solution to overcome the threat of the harm, the pain, or the danger. One of the greatest challenges when you're dealing with anxiety is what happens if you actually come up with a solution that is valid and then it doesn't work? Or what happens if you never come up with a solution? What then? Then what happens is the anxiety just keeps on repeating on itself. You don't have a solution, so that makes you feel more anxious. Or the solution that you've got doesn't work, or if it does work and you haven't dealt with the underlying challenge with the reason why you're feeling anxious in the first place, then the anxiety just continues on and on and on and can continue to build. In this instance, your anxiety and the fear associated, the emotional fear associated with anxiety, is causing you challenges both in your life and potentially even with relationships you've got. So what do you do then? Just remember, firstly, one of the reasons why you're looking for a solution for the problem is because you want to control the situation. If you suffer from anxiety, one of the most important things that you're looking for is trying to exact control over whatever you're dealing with. One of the biggest issues relating to having anxiety, and if you suffer from anxiety or you know someone suffering from anxiety, they're trying to control the situation over and over and over again. And sometimes it doesn't really matter if they actually do appear to have control. Having control is still not enough. So what is the solution in that case? Well, the area that I specifically focus on, and it really does help dissolve anxiety and fear at the same time, is trying to focus on inner peace. Now, inner peace for everyone has a different meaning, and it doesn't really specifically matter what inner peace is, but everyone knows that emotion of feeling completely calm and at peace and at ease with what's going on. One of the challenges in focusing on how to control things and creating solutions and different ways that you can try to overcome things is what happens if it doesn't work? What happens if the solution doesn't work? What that ends up doing is frustrating the situation and making it more challenging and making yourself even more upset and stressed and challenged that the threat is still there. One of the key things I help people with anxiety is to find inner peace and calm. And I'm not just talking about meditation and mindfulness and relaxation and breathing exercises. I'm talking about inner peace and calm with being who they are. One of the things that people with anxiety, and if you know someone who's got anxiety, they're always chasing to be good enough, to be loved, to be wanted, to be part of the tribe. They're always chasing some part of the control that they're missing. And if all they did was stop and focus in on being calm with themselves and at peace with themselves, that in itself will liberate them and let them go from everything that's holding them in this prison, whatever it might be. And that's what will really dissolve anxiety. That's what will give them the inner calm and peace. And that's what I focus in on. It will also to remove that feeling of fear that there's an imminent threat, the fear that is imagined. By doing those two things, by finding inner peace and calm, it will dissolve the anxiety and the fear. So if you want to dissolve your anxiety and any fear-related anxiety, then click on the link there so you can get a free 15-minute discovery call with me, during which period of time I can walk you through how I'll exactly help you discover how what I do will make you feel peaceful and calm, so you can eradicate yourself of those anxious feelings that prevent you from being exactly who you want to be. So click on that link, and certainly subscribe to my YouTube channel for more information about how to deal with anxiety and how to overcome it. And if there's anybody you should be sharing this with, by all means send them the link as well. All right, my name's Andrew Halliday. I help people with anxiety overcome those issues so they can go on to live a happy and normal life the way they've always imagined.